Greeting, brothers and sisters. Happy to be here. We're going to take our time and make sure some of the other brothers and sisters can join, but we have a very strong message tonight. And we have a chance to get some understanding. And I think that's very important. It's important that we get some understanding as we walk around this country today and with the changes that are happening in this country. It's time for us to get some understanding. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I see some quote-unquote Irish pennies that I want to get off. Make sure I'm always presentable for you. And we have to get some understanding, brothers and sisters. We need to understand what it is to be a follower of knowledge and a follower of the supreme wisdom that God blessed us with under the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I want to take time, brothers and sisters, to apologize to you. I did shave twice today. My 4 o'clock shadow is out. I shaved twice. I want you to know that. But it grows fast. And it was very early when I took the second shave. So, of course, after 6 o'clock, you see this shadow again. So, who knows, brothers and sisters? Maybe I should go with shaving 3 times a day. Probably should go with shaving 3 times a day, so I won't have to worry about this. And I'm going to organize that, as I normally organize myself for every occasion, so that we can get this done. I'm going to do that. And so, very important that you understand that our purpose today and the reason that we're standing out is for our people. Our people are in a very difficult hour, very desolate time. And we can't delay the teaching that's going to help Muslims get freedom, justice, equality, and the righteous religious teaching to help sustain them amid this wicked and evil generation among this wicked and last day. So, brothers and sisters, I encourage you today to join us. I encourage you to be involved and to take your time and truly listen. Because once I'm on these shows, it's strictly a teaching show. But when when I have the ability, when I'm on Morris World TV, which is my favorite show with Brother Minister Taharka Bey, I'm able to explain questions to explain to you in answer some questions that you may have. And I don't mind that. As a matter of fact, I consider it an extreme pleasure to be able to do so. Because the time has come for us, you and I, to stand up, brothers and sisters, and be what God has called us to be. In this last and evil day, these periods, we have to stand. We have to prove God right. God is the only right and just way to go. God is the only right and just way to go. So I invite you to concentrate and organize with me as we allow God to lead us. And I think that's what we need. We can have as much unity as possible. We can have as much education as possible, and we can have as much duty as possible, and we can have as much mission as possible. But if we don't have God in the forefront, brothers and sisters, our work is in vain. And you and I have to move so that our work isn't in vain. And I hope you can appreciate that, because we have enough frauds, fake, and phonies amid the black community. We have enough. And it's time for you and I now today to stand in holiness and righteousness so that God will be able to bless and water the seeds that we're planting and what we're doing in this day. It's time for you and I to be in that kind of mindset if we love the people as much as we say we do. So we have embraced and embarked upon the moment where God has called out the righteous of this world, the righteous people of this world. Who are the righteous? Those that have the conscience to do the will of God, those that truly have the heart to serve the people, those that have set aside themselves to heal the sick, to raise the dead, to call out of the tomb those that have been depressed, those who have been degraded, those who have been locked in the belly of hell. God's people, the righteous, are those who will call them out to tell us to come out of the tombs, come out of the wells, come out of the deep, dark areas of the earth and rise up from a dead level to a live one. And this is the teaching, brothers and sisters, that we will raise brothers and sisters from death to life. And how do we do that? How do we raise them from death to life? We do that by the continual teaching and the continual reaching of a religious, spiritual, and physical righteousness that will allow brothers and sisters to come off of the alcohol. A teaching that will allow them to get the alcohol out of their head and the drugs out of their nose and the marijuana out of their mouth, and to replace that with the word of God and a clear and sober mind that will bring brothers and sisters to the most holiness and righteousness of God. And that's what God's plan is, brothers and sisters, in the teaching. That's God's plan. And the standard has already been set. The only thing that you and I have to do, the only thing that you and I must do is follow him in the standard. So brothers and sisters, this is what I offer you. This is what I bring to you today. And this is the desire that you should have. Thank my brother Muhammad, Kenneth Muhammad, for coming in with us. Always happy to see him and others. Always happy to see our brothers and our sisters come and encourage us in this work. This is not an easy work. The work is not easy. It wasn't meant to be easy. The road was not meant to be easy. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here today. But the load is made light and the road is made easy when you have directions and teaching, not only for yourself, but for those that you'll meet. These words and teachings of God and religious righteousness that would encourage brothers and sisters along the road to unite and find the strength to continue the teaching and to embrace others on the road and find strength in the unity of the teaching of righteousness. In plain, brothers and sisters, I'm saying we want to reach brothers and sisters one by one. It said each one shall reach one and teach one. And this is what we should do. This is what we should do. And we should encourage one another because iron sharpens iron, brothers and sisters. So we should be willing to encourage one another because iron sharpens iron. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? If there's in the teaching, it's plain. The teaching is very plain. But if there's some way that I've erred or something that I could be doing better, my brother and my sister are better able to point this out. And by them pointing this out to me, then I'm better able to meet the demands that are set forth. I'm better able to be a better teacher and a better leader to my brothers and sisters that are out there in the darkness of the reality of the fall of America. That's right, brothers and sisters. I said we are experiencing the darkness of the reality of the fall of America. And I have to tell you something, brothers and sisters. I want to set it straight to you, and I want to make it plain that there's no way that you can save this white man, because God has ordered the death of your and my enemies, and God has already set in place the decrease of our enemies, and God alone has already organized your and my salvation today from this Egypt, this bondage of Babylon that have held you and I back far too long. God is delivering us already. And this is the reason that we've come before you today, brothers and sisters, because we need to set a foundation. A foundation has to be set. The foundation has to be set. What is that foundation? I'm glad you asked, brothers and sisters. The foundation that has to be set is the deliverance of God, not through your enemy, but God and God alone. You see, we've got to take our faith, our eyes, our action, and our desires off the white man, who is the torturer and perpetuator of evil on this planet called Earth. I wish I had a witness in here today. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to subscribe. We really want everybody to subscribe, because we're praying to reach the 500 mark, the 500 subscribers mark by Monday. And if not, we're still pushing to get it. But our ultimate goal is 1,000, so that we can help 1,000 people now, so we can help our brothers and sisters and get this message out. Because we're looking at a world that is built on hypocrisy. Yes, our world is built on hypocrisy, while you have religious leaders and you have political leaders that are black, that have made the white man the standard by which they should follow. And you and I have a duty and have the ultimate option to point out to them that through God, all things are possible. And to fear the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. To fear him and to love him in that magnificence, and thy neighbor as thyself. Who is my and your neighbor, brothers and sisters? Culturally, your and my neighbor is the other black people that you're following, or rubbing shoulders with, or working with in the black community. I said black people are your neighbors, because the white man is your enemy. Oh, I wish I had the witness in here today. The white man has shown you how he comes against you. It's the white man who has shown you through his friendship of what he calls friendship, first coming to your country, the continental Africa, and really global Africa, because all of the world was black before you saw any resemblance of white. And it's the white man wants to embrace you on your land, study your culture, learn your ways, your more ways and four ways, that this devil put you in slavery and had demonically possessed other black, ignorant, foolish Africans to help him in that quest. But I want you to know that during the time that this devil came to put us in slavery, that there were many Africans fighting against slavery, fighting against colonialism, and fighting against the white man coming into Africa and bringing this sickness on our shores. I want you to know that, brothers and sisters. And so God has always had his people to stand up in the time that the enemy had the grasp of the righteous people of the planet, that the enemy was poisoning the righteous people of the planet with teachings of integration, with teachings of terrorism, with teachings of white nationalism. God has always sent a deliverer and spokesman to release his power and his teaching against the power of the enemy and the teachings of the enemy. And so, brothers and sisters, this is something that you must know. You got to know it. That God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of love and power and of a sound mind. And brothers and sisters, if you lean and depend on God, then you'll have everything that you need to overcome all the power of the enemy. And I don't know about you, but I get so happy, brothers and sisters. I get so happy because I'm glad that God could think about little old me and little old you and have a plan, a blueprint of deliverance for you and I, so that we'll be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, brothers and sisters, you got to ask me who the devil is. And I've already told you, and I don't mind telling you again, that the devil is the white men and women of this planet. And there's no changing that. And you can't deny it, because every time you viewed him in history, you have seen, both through the internet, historical books and guides, even the interpretations of other countries of black, brown, yellow, and red people, of how the white man have come through, kill, plunder, and pillage those lands, integrating it and intermating it to literally wipe out civilization. And areas that wouldn't integrate with him and wouldn't intermate with him, then he killed them all together, to the last baby and last child, last elderly person. There he killed them all and completely wiped out the civilization. And what you and I are seeing today is God move. Now, our subject is a very powerful subject today. It is powerful. It is powerful. And brothers and sisters, I want you to concentrate to read it. I want you to concentrate to read it. Because there's a question today. There's a question today. The standard, brothers and sisters, have been set by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The standards have been set by all the other leaders that have agreed that God had given Elijah Muhammad a message to the black man. All Christians are saying it. All Muslims are saying it that are black. That God gave the ultimate message and blueprint for the black man to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had friends among the Baptist church, among the Muslim temples, and the Moorish Muslim temples. He had friends. It was a wide array of friends. A wide array of friends. Because there's a massive amount of people in the Black Baptist Church, massive amount of people in the Moorish Science Temples of America, and a massive amount of people in the Muslim movement as it relates to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's the truth. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to discuss this, because we have to ask the question. We have to ask the question, what is a Farrakhan Muslim versus an Elijah Muslim? We have to ask that question. We got to. And this question is going out because we see that Farrakhan may be teaching another denomination. It looks like the Nation of Islam. It has the appearance of the Nation of Islam, but at its core, it has deviated from the teachings. I wish I had a witness. And brothers and sisters, don't get angry with me, because iron sharpens iron. And we have to understand that the standard has been set. The standard has been set. And when we hear the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and black leaders of the past, they're not talking about welcoming white people inside of the Nation of Islam. We got to understand that. We got to understand that. But Farrakhan has aligned himself, brothers and sisters, with the white man in every area of his institution that we recognize as the Nation of Islam as it relates to Louis Farrakhan. Because there's a different teaching. Now, I know there are Muslims today that are probably upset. I don't encourage you to get upset with me. I ask you, brothers and sisters, I ask you to research and study, to find out what Elijah says about it. And you'll find that in the message to the black man, Elijah does not welcome the white man in the temple of Islam or the mosque of Islam, but of the Nation of Islam, but he said that there will be a few spared. Not that they will be among us, because we recognize them as the devil incarnate. And we recognize them as the pure evidence of how evil mankind can be when they've yielded to their own love and lust for money and earthly security, fame, power, and illicit sexual orientation. We've learned from the white man how evil their heart truly is, and how racist the white man is from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. And so we've learned which way not to go. And I believe that you would agree with me when the word tells us and the teaching tells us, go not the way of Cain. Go not the way of Cain, but follow God. We can't follow the white man. We can't find security in the white man. I don't care how it looks. Brothers and sisters, I don't care how much sorcery is used where you think the white man is supreme. There's only one supreme, and we have learned it in the supreme teaching. We have learned it from the most insignificant Muslim by man's standard, all the way to Muslims that have made amazing marks under the teaching of the Honorable Most Elijah Muhammad. We have learned that in the supreme teaching that God and God alone is the head teacher, and that he sent us a messenger. He has sent us a messenger. And brothers and sisters, we have to teach the right message. Why are we teaching this? Why is this show happening today, brothers and sisters? The show is happening today because we know that there's a false teaching out there. And if the teachings are false, then the prophet that is teaching these teachings are false. And we know that Muhammad told us about the coming of a false prophet that will mislead many. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to understand that because the prophet is false don't mean that he didn't have the original teaching. But just like Satan in heaven, in the throne of God, he desired to be the ultimate God. He desired to rise up to fight God for the power. Oh, I wish you understood what I was saying. The power of the universe. And if you look, what has happened in heaven is also happening on earth. What is happening today? The truth is being replaced with a lie. And it has been replaced with a lie from the moment that the truth was established. From the moment that the truth was established, Satan was apparent. Which Satan are we talking about? I'm talking about a wise Satan who leads dumb devils to do evil against the people of God. But I want you to understand that the black man is the original man, the aboriginal man of this planet, who has taken his eyes off of God and is suffering from the devil, who is over this planet, who is the prince of this world, but he is not the king of this world, because there's only one king. There's only one leader and one teacher that will teach you all things. Only one. And he is the great Mahdi, the eternal master of the universe, and the eternal teacher, being omnipotent, omnipresent, and omnipotent. And so that's why, brothers and sisters, we bear witness that there is only one God. It's only one God. And we also bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. We bear witness that this God has had many messengers. But we align that the ultimate message for our salvation is the deliverance of the black people of this planet from the bondage that the white man has set. So we require deliverance because we are indeed in bondage. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And just walk with me a little while, brothers and sisters. We don't have long, but I want you to walk with me a little while I rightly divide the word of truth to you, and hopefully one day thousands and millions of others that are lost. Brothers and sisters, our people are lost on drugs and alcohol, just lost on methamphetamines and all these things. Sexual abnormality, sexual immorality. Our people are lost, brothers and sisters. Our people are so lost. And it's up to you and I to deliver them with the word of God. You and I have to deliver them. And how do we do it? We must come out from among the enemy, and we must live a life of salvation and dedication unto the most awesome, powerful God who has given us the word to deliver us, brothers and sisters, from a dead level to alive, and raising us up out of the alcohol, the drugs, raising us up out of the ignorance that have kept us down and kept us desolate. Raise us up mentally, spiritually, and otherwise, that will allow us to be independent and interdependent among black people, to deliver us from the dark dungeons of depression and degradation to the sunlit mountaintop of independence and unity. This is what God is calling us to do. This is where He wants us to be, brothers and sisters. So it's very important that we continue to live a life. We've got to live a life. And there's no division in God. I hope you're all right. I said there's no division in God. You can go anywhere where the truth of God is being taught, whether it be the Baptist church, whether it be the Methodist church, whether it be the Episcopalian church or Catholic, where black people are. And I mean where black people are, where there's no white people involved. And you know, it's amazing because when you go to talking about building a religious foundation where there's no white people involved, then you get black people get so nervous and they say, well, brother, you may be teaching racism. Now, this is a trick of the white man. And I want to tell you that this is his trick, because the white man's trick is to make you believe that I'm racist, and I'm not teaching racism. Besides, I'm a victim of racism. You are a victim of racism. I'm not teaching racism. But he'll even come out today, the white man will come out today to defend those black leaders who he has paid and has an economic stronghold over. This is true. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to brace yourself, because I intend to tell you that Minister Louis Farrakhan is under the stronghold of the white man, under the stronghold of the white man's money, under the stronghold of a distorted teaching as it relates to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he has been misteaching brothers and sisters that are Muslim. Minister Farrakhan has mistaught them from foundational Muslim teaching. And so this miseducation has involved the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard through auditing. Brothers and sisters, this is not of God. This is not of the teaching, the foundational teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, this teaching is demonic, evil, and repugnant, because it has no relationship with the culture of black people and have no relationship with the suffering of black people. And so, brothers and sisters, we have to stand. We got to stand out. Got to stand out. If you're out there listening, brothers and sisters, show your face. Be encouraged. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Come on and say hello and agree with the truth, so that you could be found with the righteous. What do I mean? Who is the righteous? Our righteous are those that are going to stand in the power of God and stand on his word and not fear this white devil that has been terrorizing black people across the planet. I said standing up on God's side so that God can get on our side. And we know that God is on our side, so it's time for us to get on God's side so that we could point out the evildoer, which is the white man that has tortured our brothers and sisters globally around this planet. And brothers and sisters, when you teach this kind of teaching, you may leave some people because, or some people may leave you because they'll say, well, brother, I don't deny what you're teaching, but I think there should be some white people involved. The black man that will spew this knowledge that there has to be some white people involved in the salvation is teaching heresy. They won't be involved in the salvation, but Muhammad tells us that there's going to be a remnant of those left so that we will know them and know their history and know how they tortured our people. So God will leave a remnant of them. You may never know. They may have to put them in a zoo so that we can point them out and say, these are the people that have tortured us for oh so long. Greetings, Sister Donna. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. And so we have to be in the habit, brothers and sisters. Got to be in the habit. We have to be in the habit of standing with God and standing in truth. We have to be in the habit of standing when even our brothers won't stand and our sisters won't stand and our mothers and fathers won't stand. We have to be found standing in the place of righteousness and standing in the place of holiness. What is that, brothers and sisters? It means that the white man won't be able to pay us to tiptoe through the tulips. He won't be able to pay us to speak his evil and demonic teachings. He won't be able to pay us to turn against our brothers and sisters and backstab them. He won't be able to pay us to poison our community because our trust is in God and God alone. And that's righteousness, brothers and sisters. It means that you can't be swayed. Holiness means that you are standing aside, that you're not a part of the world, but you are apostate. You are standing aside or placed aside by God for a specific purpose concerning the salvation of people that are in bondage. Brother and sister, you and I are in bondage. I don't care how you look at it. The white man, when he brought you over from your country in chains in the bottom of Jonah's fish. I wish you could hear me. I said when he brought you over here in chains in the belly of a wooden well that will spew you out on the shores of a land that he had taken over with manipulation and mass killings on a scale that has never been seen and shall never be seen in history, as he killed the red man and the black Native American Indian that were here in the beginning to take these shores to impute slavery. That's what he did, brothers and sisters. Killed our people in a portion of this area so that he could run and rule it with the system of slavery and a system of mass production of black people that he called an animal. He called you and I human animals. And we have to know that this is the history of this evildoer. What does the word says? In Exodus, in the book of Exodus, you'll find these words, brothers and sisters, where it says, he that stealeth the man shall be put to death, and he that stealeth the man and to sell that man to another man, and that man who has bought that man shall also be brought to death. So we tell our brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan, you have deviated. We tell the Muslims that are under Minister Farrakhan, you have deviated, and we welcome you back to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We welcome you back to the true teachings of Jesus Christ, which tells you to come out from among them. We welcome you back to the ultimate teaching of the great Mahdi, the universal God, and in him we have salvation. In him we have legitimate faith. In him we have true deliverance. And we ask you to come back to the teachings that will keep you independent, interdependent among black people, and will keep you separated from devils and demons that come from the white man of this planet. I hope you're all right, brothers and sisters. But this is a serious mission that you and I have today. This mission is serious because they have to deliver us. We've got to talk about the one God among the black man, irregardless of the religious and spiritual system, that there's one God, and we bear witness that this one God sent the one message for the ultimate deliverance of the black man in America and the black man of the global planet we know as Earth. So brothers and sisters, as we're on this global ship that circles the sun, that is shining on you and I in this darkness. Oh, I wish that I had a witness today that you can't see it, but the sun is shining on you, and there's power in the light of the world. Oh, brothers and sisters, just like you get vitamin D by standing in the sun, and bathing in the sun as it was taught to you in Africa over 1.7 million years ago from the teachings of Adam, today the same thing reigns true, that spiritually as well as physically you are being given vitamin to increase you spiritually and to build you up, so that you are standing apostate from a world of demons, a world of spiritual wickedness in high places. Where are these spirits of wickedness come from, brothers and sisters? This spirit of wickedness is coming from the white man of this planet, who is wicked in his very nature, who is wicked in and to his very nature. Now, brothers and sisters, you got some people out there right now that was saying the brother, what he's teaching is fine, but the brother is talking too racist. Now, brothers and sisters, I like to ask you, how can I be racist when I am a victim of racism? And that's what I want to say to the black Muslims and black Christians of the world, is that you are victims of racism. I am a victim of racism. And the white man is the demon and devil that put you in racism. I said the white man. The white man that has brown eyes and blue eyes and has brown hair and blonde hair. This white man, this American white man, and the European white man that put you and I in bondage was sent by the wise Satan to be dumb devils in the evil network of oppression. And what I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that you and I are oppressed today, and some brothers and sisters allow them to be possessed by trying to live the life of the white man and trying to get the work and the money of the white man, instead of standing to still to see the salvation of God. Don't you know that God is able to bless you with everything that the white man has, and God will allow you to get it the right way? The white man didn't get his riches and didn't get his possessions the right way. The white man killed with blood to get the very thing that he asked you to take out loans for. The white man, through violence, have gotten everything that he's ever retained in history, from a mass scale to the least white person. And brothers and sisters, that's why I say there shouldn't be any white poor people on the planet. That's right. I said there shouldn't be any white poor people on the planet, because slavery was such a massive operation that even down to the last dirtiest, stinkiest, gray-faced, white, wicked animal could have a slave to produce labor to give him economical security. In other words, you and I supplied for them through our ancestry, both small and great. We supplied for them security in the very loans and bonds and investment banking and stock market. We provided that security, and we are providing that security today. What is the stock market? What is the stock market? The stock market is a market that advertises stock for investment. And it was started on the back of slavery. Oh, I wish I had a witness today. Slavery was and is a cash crop that had benefits through the people who were enslaved. Sister D, God bless you, sister. I appreciate seeing you. We've been missing you for the past days. Blessed to see you. We have to stand up today, brothers and sisters. In a powerful way, we've got to stand up. And God is wanting us to be non-compromising to a world that you and I know that is falling. This world is falling, brothers and sisters. This world is falling fast. Falling fast. The fall of America is apparent, and it is apparent that America has nothing to offer the black man. And the black man can't even leave America because he has to have a passport before he goes. Even if he goes to another country, I want you to understand something. That passport that you've gotten is a paperwork, a rites of passage, passport. Oh, I hope I had a witness in here today. Passport and a rite of passage for you to go for so long to visit your native country or any country in the world. But the passport has a limit. Now, listen, brothers and sisters. I want you to hear me. That passport was issued to you by the white man. Why? Because he owns you. You never see white people have to worry about a passport or being given a passport because he's already free. Now, he can purchase a passport to go certain places, but you and I can be denied a passport for taxes and other things in this world that the white man holds dear to supply his market, his money market, to supply his stock market, to supply his housing market, to supply his job market. I hope you understand me. Because you are holding the keys to your own salvation. You are holding the keys to your own salvation. If you stop working for them tomorrow, all the businesses in the world will shut down. If you stop working, you have that power. And that day is coming, brothers and sisters, and God is bringing that day. I'll tell you why. God is bringing that day of your salvation because he's killing the market where you won't be able to work nor purchase within the white man's grocery stores, his stock market, his housing market, nor his working global market. God is creating that day. Why is he creating that day? God is creating that day for us because he wants to be established and reestablished in truth as the only power who is able to bless and curse mankind. Today, you look at the white man as if he's the answer for you. Brothers and sisters, it's shameful. It is shameful, brothers and sisters. It is so shameful. Greeting, brother Jermaine. Greeting. All praises be to Allah. Peace be unto you from God. It is shameful the way we look at the white man and the position that we gave the white man over us in our lives. Brothers and sisters, this is shameful. And God is telling us today to come out from among her, O ye my people. And today I'm calling the people of God to come out. If you're a black Christian or black Muslim, I'm telling you to come out from the enemy. Come out from under the power of the enemy. Stop supporting the enemy by believing that the white man is sent of God. He's sent of the devil. The white man is a devil, sent of the devil from an only wise, evil Satan who doesn't have long, whose kingdom is being torn down. And brothers and sisters, if we will stand strong, God is turning this planet over to us. When this planet falls, you'll see that the words of the prophets have been right when they said that we're in homes that we didn't build with our own hand. You will see you will see, brothers and sisters, that the word is right. Brothers and sisters, I ask you to support today. I'm putting my Cash App up here. Definitely ask you to support today. It's called Liberation Group. I'm asking you to support today. We need your support to keep speaking this truth. And I've been able to be invited to places where we can go and speak that will continue to help us to support this ministry. This is a difficult ministry. You have brothers and sisters that will come against you. So we need your support. And that's the Cash App Liberation Group. You'll see Liberation Tax Service Group. You'll see that. It's called Liberation Group or Liberation Tax Service Group. But if you get the Cash App Liberation Group, you should see a picture of a Muslim brother and his family. You should see that picture. So I ask you to please, brothers and sisters, bless us in the Cash App. Send us something. We ask that you purchase a book from the supported link that you see. There's a book that you can purchase in the link that I pinned to this ministry. And you go on that link. You could also support through Cash App. And whatever you send through Cash App, if you want a book, I want you to tell me which book you want, and I will certainly send it to you. And I will certainly send it to you as my gift to you for your support. And I'm very happy to be writing on other books that is going to be equivalent to us speaking the message and pointing out how God has showed us over time and in time that these white devils are killing us on a mass level. Now the white man can't hide it. We've had mass killings of black people, 270 killings and rising. And we've just entered June. Where is Farrakhan and where is his teaching? Brothers and sisters, don't you know that you can't speak for your brothers and sisters to stand out if you are busy courting and cozying up to the white man? Farrakhan himself, when he ousted Minister Khalid Abdul Muhammad, when he ousted Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad in 1993, when he ousted Muhammad in 1993, brothers and sisters, he announced with the same tongue, the same breath, with the same head movement that Father Flager was his friend. Who is Father Flager? He is known by the Arch-Catholic Diocese as a priest who is guilty of pedophilia, a priest who is guilty of killing two young brothers, and their death being on his hand when the Catholic Church told him not to adopt young black babies. He did it. And when it come time for these babies to leave, they ended up dead. They ended up dead. And this is the man that Farrakhan has decided to befriend. Brothers and sisters, when the word says, deliver us from evil, let's go over that prayer. Let's go over that prayer when Jesus said to pray. Let's go over that prayer because Jesus was our brother. Jesus was a Muslim. He wasn't a Christian. You don't hear the word Christian until 70 AD, which is under the Roman Empire, where they organized the Christian sect to keep power over the world and to also invest in the system of slavery, which happened in 1432, and the organization of it in 1401, where they were taking us through Portugal. The King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella to invest in slavery as a massive cash crop. So he's befriended the one that is responsible for our situation. He has defended the one that is responsible for us being in bondage and has befriended this devil who has possessed demons to manipulate and to sodomize and to rape black boys. These Catholic priests are guilty of doing that. There were so many black people that these Catholic priests had violated that the archdiocese in Rome had to get busy to do something about it, because these priests were ending up in court. And don't you know that it's the teaching of devils and demons to not want to marry a woman, but to behave deceitfully and to behave sexually evil with children? And what is going on with our brother Minister Farrakhan to begin to support and befriend this type of man? Brothers and sisters, it's the deviation from the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, deviation from the true teaching of the black Jesus, who dealt with the same white administration in his day, who came over with manipulation and lies and half-truths, who got a black brother named Judas to betray Jesus, and another black brother named Peter to deny Jesus, and others to turn against Jesus, that were in that movement of that day, where they would crucify him because they had been paid and expected payment from the evil devils of that day. Why am I saying this, brothers and sisters? Don't you know that Rome and Greece, they were called the dogs of the forest? Romulus and Remus, which is Rome and Greece, were the ones that were behind the killing and the assassination of Jesus, who was a black man from Africa, an Ethiopian prophet and leader from Africa, who gained national fame by standing up against the powers of this world. Brothers and sisters, you need to start studying history. The Bible is your black liberation theology when you understand it for what it is. Brothers and sisters, every black man that has come around with any love and independence and the will to stand out for his people have been killed by these devils since day one, ever since the white man stepped foot on the shores of Africa. God is calling us to stand. That's right, Brother Jermaine. They're singing the swan song. What the hell is the swan song? I heard them talk about it, but I still don't understand what it means. But this is some foolishness to catch you and I up. I mean, Farrakhan is literally lost his senses, is off his rocker, and I believe the brother is suffering from dementia. I believe that with all of my heart. And I pray and ask God, Allah, Jehovah, or whatever you want to call him, that he would touch his mind and get him away from these white devils. Brothers and sisters, it's a shame to see a brother that had such power and such potential to rise in a demonic organization, because he's not teaching the truth. This is a half-truth. And he had to have the help of L. Ron Hubbard, another white devil, to push this truth that he teaches, this half-truth that he teaches. It's a shame, brothers and sisters. And if you look, that same form of racism has touched in his teaching. Self-hate have touched in his teaching, where you see that there's a color line. And I want you to look at this. Where he's allowed Mexicans to come inside of the Nation of Islam and hold posts over black men. Think of the psychological implications of that. Brothers and sisters, I want you to think of the psychological implications of letting Mexicans come into the Nation of Islam, otherwise known as whites, The Mexican knows it. He identifies himself with white people. You think that the white man won't use a Mexican to infiltrate your camp, brothers and sisters? You better wake up. You better wake up. The Mexican is not your friend. You will always be a friend to the Mexican. You are always a friend to all of the world. But all I want you to know is that the world don't know how to be your friend. Every nation, including the red man, has turned on the black man. This is some hard truth, brothers and sisters, but it is the truth. And before you can befriend others, brothers and sisters, which is not wise, you should do the most wise thing is to unite with your brothers and sisters, educate your brothers and sisters to speak with one voice, to see with one eye, to breathe with one nostril, to hear with one ear, and to rise as one people and deliver yourself from this bondage called America. That's the truth. And if you look in Farrakhan's version of the Muslim movement, every brother in a leadership position are light-skinned buttermilk brothers who are holding hands with their white friend that have left the field of true work and are skipping through the daisies, holding the hands of white men and white women and destroying the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, destroying the teachings of independence. That's what you see today. And if you look at this color line, everybody that's been put in place, with few exceptions, are children that have come from white parents who are working for white businesses, proof of which Farrakhan just gave Wesley Muhammad 2 or 3 years ago permission to work for his father's company, who is a white man. So he's getting away from the teaching because Elijah Muhammad taught that we should build our own businesses, build our own schools, have our own car lots, have our own houses, have our own temples, our own religious institutions, so that we will be able to do for self and not have to have any involvement with the white man. And brothers and sisters, you have to pay attention to this. You have to pay attention. You know, I'm skeptical about any leader, any individual that is never have a philosophy of self-pride, never have a teaching or a message to their own people, and never have their own institutions to guarantee support to their own people. He got so much black power and love for black people that you're integrating them with white people. In 1985, in 1986, you can go for the record to search this through Google and any other search engine that you want, and you'll find in 1986 there were several months where he did this, but one of the months that I truly recall was June and May, where Farrakhan got on syndicated television to say that one day Muslims, the Nation of Islam, black Muslims, would be integrated with white Muslims, that one day that white Muslims would be welcomed inside of the Nation of Islam. Don't you know that this is a paid informant? Don't you know that he's working for the man? And once he said that, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, whom I work under, who I was introduced to the movement by, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, had strong problems against this and began to preach strong, teach strong against this type of heretic. This is a heretic type of teaching. And then you'll see in 1987, that Khalid Muhammad, the government, charged him falsely of mortgage fraud. Never seen anything like it. But we knew what was going on. So did the minister. And once he got released, because I'm telling you, they accused him of property that wasn't even his. It's property that belonged to Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth, brothers and sisters. And I've been involved with this movement since 1986. So I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. And as an assistant of Dr. Khalid, when they picked him up and took him to prison, where he was there 9 to 11 months, the end of 1987 and almost all of 1988, when he got out, he was made the national representative of the Nation of Islam under Louis Farrakhan. This is a point in history. All you have to do is study it, and I ask you to research just to see if I'm in error. Now, brothers and sisters, we've been welcomed with the internet. We've been welcomed with the internet. So you can find the same truth that I'm telling you today. You can find it. You can find it. And so when the brother got out, he made him national representative, almost like a payback. Because Brother Khalid went down, but he kept his honor. He didn't turn against anyone. He kept his honor. Now, brothers and sisters, he began to catch flack because he was preaching against white Muslims joining in the temple of the Nation of Islam as it relates to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so he said, the brother said he didn't know what Farrakhan was doing. But he wasn't having no white Muslims coming inside the nation as long as he was there. And so you'll see the brother is going strong from 1988 to 1993. The message that he spoke in 1993 was considered an easy message at King College, where he was there defending Minister Farrakhan. Brothers and sisters, I want you to check this for the record. I want you to check this. I want you to check this for the record. And brothers and sisters, all you have to do is pay attention to see that when Minister Khalid spoke that openly against evil, demonic Jews and spoke against pedophilia with the Catholic Church and spoke against the miseducation and misreligion and the oppression of the Catholic Church, and spoke against America as a demonic country, working against Minister Farrakhan. His leader, he was defending Farrakhan. The next thing you know, the House of Representatives and the House of Senate were organizing with sellout black caucus. You know them sellout black politicians, sellouts. And they voted to muzzle Dr. Khalid, had passed it in the House and the Senate, a full majority with the organization and backing of black caucus political leaders. In other words, black politicians that we voted to serve in the House and Senate and also Congress. And brothers and sisters, when that happened, Ben Chavez, one sellout who came a hypocrite, who said he was coming to the Muslim movement, who has not lived as a Muslim since the time he put on a bow tie. Walter Butts, as Dr. Khalid called him, Walter Behind. He stood up and called Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson, bragged, him and Ben Chavez, that they were some of the first ones to call Minister Farrakhan and ask him, what are you going to do about Dr. Khalid? Now, there was only one sellout that was concerned about Dr. Khalid, and that was Al Sharpton. He was a sellout that hadn't received the what do you call it? The biscuit for his work. And we say that because the slave on the plantation, the preacher, because that's a big difference between the preacher and the minister. The preacher on the plantation, anytime he told on his people or turned against his people, the master always gave him a piece of chicken and a biscuit, and that's why they called him a biscuit eater. Well, Al Sharpton, that was working for the white man on the streets, would take anything that you give him, hadn't received the deposit for his sellout. And so he, as a conscious coon, because that's what you got to call him, he's a conscious coon, that was concerned about Dr. Collins and said, well, is Dr. Collins going to speak at the Million Man March? Well, see, they hadn't polished Al Sharpton up. You know, he got a different, if you look at him now, his perm is better than it was in the past because he got a different beautician to keep his perm up, and they got it cutting. He said, look, don't cut too much because you see he got it flowing behind him. Still got it flowing behind him. So he done cooked his skin to keep his hair straight. Still got it flowing behind him. And back then, he hadn't sold out. He had a perm then. He had sold like an afro. He had an afro back then, a perm afro. And he was asking about Dr. Collins. And the minister said he was going to let Dr. Collins speak. Now, here you are making peace and talking about atonement in the Million Man March. This is being organized. Took 2 years to organize it from 1993 to 1995. And the federal government gave him the money under the Clinton administration. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Gave him the money under the Clinton administration to sell out, and also gave him some more money under the Department of Correction, the federal administration under the Department of Correction out of Washington, D.C., which was $1 billion project. Brothers and sisters, I hope you can hear me, and I hope you're all right. Not only that, but in 1985 and 86, he sent representation over to Saudi Arabia, over to Libya, and received monies from Muammar Gaddafi. A lot of brothers will say he didn't get it. He got it. He received that money and met with Gaddafi, and you'll find out later that they used him to connect with black brothers fighting for unity, fighting for liberation and democracy over there, that this brother was used as a satellite. Brothers and sisters, I wish I had a witness to attach himself to every major leader globally, nationally, locally, and otherwise that would have been a threat against the white administration, against the white man's national stock and his international stock for money. In other words, his system of oppression and slavery. He used Minister Farrakhan to connect the dots. And you will find, if you study, that every major black leader, whether national or international, that have visited or had dinner with Minister Louis Farrakhan have ended up dead, including Huey P. Newton of the Black Panther Party. This is true. Including Muammar Gaddafi. This is true. Or any other leader he's met, with the exception of Nelson Mandela, who is an international sellout of Africans, who sold us out and sold his own wife out, Winnie Mandela, in the nationalist movement of Africa. This is true. And all you have to do is search it for the record, and you can find out the very thing that I'm telling you is true. But brothers and sisters, we have to be careful of this man called Minister Louis Farrakhan, because he's a narcissist and he believes that he is beyond reproach, and the white man protects him. He's a lover of money, what the word called filthy lucre. He's a lover of money. He's a lover of fame. He's a lover of what he believes that power is. The power that the white man gave him. Don't you remember when the white man tempted Jesus? Now, brothers and sisters, I'm trying to make it plain to you. And you got some people right now that are listening that won't subscribe to the channel. That's why I tell you, if you're an enemy Hit the non-like button. Hit the unlike button if you're an enemy. If you're a friend, hit the like button. I want to make sure that you participate, because it would just be plain ignorant to believe that you didn't have any enemies listening to this station. Brothers and sisters, you got enemies listening everywhere that you and I are uniting. Everywhere we're talking, you got enemies. But see, this is why I want to tell you. This is what I want to tell you. I want you to hit like and subscribe. Certainly, thumbs up, like and subscribe. But this is what I want to tell you. Listen to what I'm saying. I want to tell you that the man has been with the federal government from the time that Minister Malcolm thought he found him to bring him in the Nation of Islam. Is Louis Farrakhan, who brought the poison, along with John Ali, the National Press Secretary of the Nation of Islam, and Wallace Waradeen Muhammad, other Muslims that were working with these people. Other Muslims that were working with these people, such as James 3X Muhammad, who later was killed after he got a conscience to start leading people in the right direction, and had gotten too powerful, who was killed right after he had gotten out of his car to go inside of his house. They killed the brother. He was over the mosque in Newark, New Jersey. This is a fact. This is a fact. All you got to do is follow it. These breadcrumbs lead to Louis Farrakhan. All of these brothers were helpers, and these breadcrumbs lead to Louis Farrakhan, who is working for the federal government to dismantle the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to separate he and Minister Malcolm. Because if you look in December of 1964 and also February the 14th of 1965, you'll find out in your research, you will find out that Minister Malcolm had announced that he was coming back in the Muslim movement, and that he gave credit to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for everything that he had been taught, everything that he learned in the Nation of Islam and the Muslim movement. And all you have to do is research this to find out that I'm telling you the truth. All you have to do is research it, brothers and sisters. Take time out and get off Facebook and get off LinkedIn and get off Twitter and get off all the rest of these stations they got, pin interest or whatever they call it, and get on the internet and research what I'm telling you and see if I'm in error. See if I'm in error. Every black leader that Minister Farrakhan got connected with ended up dead. If he was fighting with him and the government was going to kill him, soon they brought him to the people to make peace, and 3 weeks after that, or maybe 4 weeks, they ended up dead. Proof of which, I want to say something, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it. We got a show coming up on the death of Sister Betty Shabazz and the algorithm and the formula of assassination. And you'll find that not only did Martin Luther King and Minister Malcolm X die suspicious deaths, but you'll look and find out that their wives died from suspicious deaths. And I want you to do your research ahead so you'll know it. Now, the fire is the white man's fingerprint. Fire is the white man's fingerprint. If you agree with that, just let me know. I want you to think about it. Once I tell you what I'm going to tell you. Now, Minister Malcolm's family was burned out by fire when he was young. The Ku Klux Klan and the government did that. They burned out Minister Earl Little, who was part of the Garveyite movement of that day. I want you to check this just to see that your brother is not in error, that your brother is teaching. And I want you to understand that fire is the fingerprint of the white man, because he burned out Minister Earl Little, who's a massive part of the Garveyite teaching and Garveyite movement. He also burned out Tulsa, Oklahoma. He dropped bombs. The Gap Band got a song called "You Dropped the Bomb on Me." Brothers and sisters, they're talking about the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The acronym or the slogan for Greenwood, Alp, and Pine was given to the Gap Band because that's what it means. Greenwood, Alp, and Pine. The Gap Band. In other words, they came from Tulsa, Oklahoma and organized to sing for Tulsa, Oklahoma to talk about history. They were a historical R&B group. You had a lot of these people that in the past representation of black artistry, black rap, before it became gangster rap, it was black rap. They were talking, they had a message in their song. They had a message in their music. And they told a lot of history in their music. The Gap Band produced a song, "You Dropped the Bomb on Me," was talking about how America had dropped bombs to burn black communities that they later buried. This is the truth. This is a fact. And so when you research this, you will find out that this is the truth. And so fingerprint of the white man is fire. Fingerprint of the white man is fire. And so when he using fire, because I want you to think about, brothers and sisters, I want you to think about it. Brothers and sisters, if a brother is going to kill you, he's going to use a gun or a knife. This is a fact. If he's going to kill you, he's going to use a gun or a knife, but he's going to use his hands. You don't find brother running around creating Molotov cocktails. This is sophisticated stuff. We ain't trying to do that. We trying to get you. If we're going to cut you, if we're going to shoot you, if we're going to beat you or choke you, that's going to come from our hand. But what I want you to understand is that fire is the white man's fingerprint. He burned Minister Malcolm's family out. He killed his father. Tied him to a train track, and the cart literally severed his head. The street car literally severed his head. And so, brothers and sisters, that's right, Brother Jermaine, you got to connect the dots. And brothers and sisters, what you need to understand, you got to understand it, that the white man is not, he doesn't change. He don't change. The same thing he was doing yesterday is the same thing he was doing today. Now, Minister Malcolm's house was firebombed. Minister Malcolm wasn't trying to stay in that house. Him and his wife was already trying to purchase a house. If you want to find this, you get my book, Who Killed Minister Malcolm X and Why. I have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. There are 4 editions to that book. But I make it plain in each one of them, and we go deeper into the research. But I make it in plain and have the facts. Why? Because in 1986 to 88, I was blessed to get 2 interviews with Sister Betty Shabazz, who is the wife of Minister Malcolm X. This is a matter of record. I'm not just saying it, it's a matter of record. It's a matter of record. When we had the commemoration of Minister Malcolm X in 1986 in an old Elijah Mosque in Tunica, Mississippi, I want you to know that his sister, Sister Ella Little Collins, came to that meeting and extended to Minister Dr. Khalid Muhammad and myself, and I was 12 years old at the time, the charter for the Organization for African American Unity, and this is where the African American Defense League come from. In 1986 in Tunica, Mississippi, we came out of state to visit there when they were commemorating the Minister Malcolm X, and also being thankful for teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This that I tell you is the truth. It is researchable, and you can find it. But the white man don't want you to know the truth. He don't want you to know the truth. The Muslim movement continues on. It has never died. But he put Farrakhan in front of you as a fluke, and then he put Wallace Waradeen Muhammad to divide the other ones to go into what they call American Islam, American National Islam, which is stupid and ignorant. Because you look over there, those people are not qualified to even teach us the Quran. They're not even qualified to teach us Arabic. I've seen more homosexuality, more drug use, more prostitution, more pimping, and more drug selling in that place than I've seen any other place that I've been in to date. And this is a fact. This is a fact. And I challenge any of those devils to disprove me. That those are devils over in that country that have been amalgamated, that have been intimated and integrated to wipe out the color of black people on an otherwise black area. This is a fact. And proof of which, brothers and sisters, they come in our country saying salam alaikum and are selling our people pig, are selling our people alcohol, and selling our people everything else that is unholy for the body. Don't you know that we got to stand up against these things? And that's right, brother Jermaine. I talk about the death of Minister Malcolm's grandson and the grandson's mother. I talk about that. Sister Quabila Shabazz. What a strange death. I'm telling you that the white man has worked to wipe out every family member of Minister Malcolm X under his own tutelage. Every child that was born between him and Sister Betty. Sister Betty X died in a fire that they tried to blame on Minister Malcolm's grandson, young Malcolm X Shabazz. Young Malcolm X Shabazz. Minister Farrakhan was feuding with Sister Betty, and then the government created this scheme through a white boy that Quabila was supposed to told that she was going to kill Minister Farrakhan. Farrakhan has been in no danger, brothers and sisters. He was in no danger, but it was a scheme. So once they got the knowledge, they blamed her for wanting to kill Minister Farrakhan. And in 1995, him and Sister Betty was sort of forced, but was on stage. It was at the Apollo. Now I want you to go back and research this. On stage where Minister Farrakhan was supposedly had raised money, I think about $250,000 for the lawyers that were going to defend our sister Quabila Shabazz, the daughter of Minister Malcolm X, who supposedly put a hit out on Minister Farrakhan. Farrakhan and Sister Betty made peace, on stage at least. I want you to know that Sister Betty never trusted Minister Farrakhan. I have that in an Associated Press interview. She still didn't trust Farrakhan. If you look, his daughters don't trust Farrakhan. Minister Malcolm's daughters do not trust Minister Farrakhan because they know the truth. They know the truth. But brothers and sisters, you see, I believe it was 1997 or 1998, you watch that Sister Betty X Shabazz was burned in a house fire, burned to death in a house fire. She died later in a hospital from severe third-degree burns. They tried to blame young Malcolm Shabazz for the burning. He never admitted to it. Even on medication, he never admitted to it. Don't you know what kind of devil you're dealing with Louis Farrakhan and his white friends? It is a shame. It is a shame, brothers and sisters. And you still have ignorant, dumb, foolish brothers, mothers, and Muslims and Muslims that are defending this demon. Our Sister Betty lost her grandson in Mexico, another suspicious death where he was going there to help raise help and labor and money for poor Mexicans. He was standing up trying to help them. And it was another Mexican that killed him. This is what I'm telling you. That's why I say it's better for us to help our own. Now, they killed Malcolm X's grandson, who was fastly becoming, as an heir apparent to Minister Malcolm, was fastly becoming, as a young man, 27 years of age, the most leading black nationalist administrator or minister. I like to use the term minister, that we had seen in a long time. The brother could not be bought. He was welcome in Saudi Arabia to real leaders that had financed him to keep teaching and keep living his movement, keep teaching the philosophy of his grandfather. Stand up and build up your black people. Not long after that, after he come from the trip in Saudi Arabia, not long after that, the young brother is killed in Mexico. I mean, you can't look past it, brothers and sisters. And that's the thing that I'm trying to tell you. You'll do yourself a disservice to look past it, and you got fools that are defending Minister Farrakhan. I don't hate Minister Farrakhan. I only hate the evil and lies that he's teaching. I don't hate him. I love the brother. But we can't suffer your lies anymore. I mean, how much money does it take? You've gotten all the money in the world. You've had all the opportunities in the world, and you still can't rise above the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can't rise above the teachings and the message to the black man. With all the help that the white man is giving you, you still cannot replace the teaching of righteousness as it relates to a holy people. There's nothing that Minister Farrakhan can do for you or I except get out the way, brothers and sisters. He got to get out of the way. Now, he's in no danger. He's never been in any danger. Proof of which, his own son, Mustafa Farrakhan, the leader of the NOI, is a Harvey, Illinois police officer. All you have to do is look it up. Look it up, and you'll find out what the brother is telling you is true. Just look it up, and I tell you, if I'm in error, look it up. You type into Google. All you got to do is type it in. All you got to type it in. You type in Mustafa Muhammad or police. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to be no genius or nothing like that on the web. All you have to do is go to Google and look it up. And you'll find out that he is a police in Harvey, Illinois. In Harvey, Illinois. That's right outside of Chicago. It's the Chicago suburbs. You'll find out that he is a police officer. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. So you will see that I'm telling you the truth. So how can you fight against the enemy? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. How can you fight against the enemy and you're working with the enemy? It's the only question I have. Brothers and sisters, if somebody could tell me that, just tell me. How can you do this? How can you do this? You're working with the enemy. Working with the devil. I don't understand. Now, you'll have to explain this to me. You have to explain it. Because I don't understand it. How you can be with the enemy and say you're fighting the enemy. I don't understand that. So, are you with the people? Are you with the people? This brother was, and they talk about Derek Muhammad too, another one. It's crazy, brothers and sisters. It's crazy. Derek Muhammad is another one from Farrakhan's camp that is a Harvard police officer who was working with the Chicago police. Only thing I ask you, I have to ask, how could you, as a leader amid the Nation of Islam, work with the police department headed by white folks? I mean, I could understand if we had our own black police separated from white folks, separated from the white police. I'd say, okay, great. I would say, great. But to work for the white police, brothers and sisters, and that's a fact. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. He can't deny it if he says it, because he had been charged for being on the police force and being non-active at one time. So this is what the devil will do. This is what I'm telling you. That's why I say you got to be careful. If you don't involve yourself with the white man, then you don't have to worry about the white man. If you don't involve yourself, you don't have to worry. He served on the police force in Harvey, Illinois. You can research it and find out that this is the truth. All you gotta do is research it. And when he wouldn't go to work, or who knows? I mean, he's Farrakhan's son. So when he wouldn't go to work, what happened? Well, they cited him for getting paid and not holding his post. And I'm telling you, that's why I tell you about this white man. This white man, you've never seen anyone like him. He'll use you as far as he could go. And the minute that you come to your end, he'll go to telling on you and everything you did for him. Now, if you look at Gordon Parks, who produced Shaft and other movies, Gordon Parks, who's an amazing photographer, Gordon Parks worked for the CIA and FBI. This is a fact. He worked for the CIA and the FBI. It's crazy. And brother was taking pictures of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Malcolm and Dr. King, and taking this knowledge in it right back to the federal government. Right back to the federal government. If you go, and I'll tell you how you'll find this. When I was on Tahaka Bay's show, there were people saying that he hates Minister Louis Farrakhan. I don't hate Minister Farrakhan. I love Minister Farrakhan. I just don't like the lies that he's teaching. When I was on Tahaka Bay's show, you go on Tahaka Bay's show, More Science Temples of America, More Science TV. You go on this show, there's a receipt that he pulls up, and you'll see where he has to admit that I'm right about Mustafa Farrakhan being a police in the Harvey, Illinois Police Department. Now, he didn't believe it. He was afraid to hear the truth. But he had to admit it once he saw it. I had him to show everyone so that they could see. Because we need to know these devils that are in front of us. And what I'm telling you is Minister Farrakhan is the biggest demon they have out to mislead black people. And that's all I want to tell you. That he is the one. He is the one, the ultimate leader that they've used to misrepresent our people, to misguide us and mislead us today, you and I, to mislead us, because he has a reputation of being above black reproach. Why, who the hell are you to be above black reproach when black folks have put their faith, their finances, and their knowledge in your confidence. I beg your pardon, sir. I beg your pardon. You are not above reproach, and you must be questioned. Your funny moves must be observed, and you must be brought before the people to explain your lies and have truths and repent before we will welcome you back in to our confidence. Brothers and sisters, we have to be careful. We have to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the teachings of the message to the black man, always abounding in the work of God. That's what you and I are called for. Whether we be black Christian, whether we be black Muslim, whether we be Hebrew Israelite, whether we be black Hebrews, whatever we are, God has called us to stand up and stand out against evil. God has called us to do this, brothers and sisters. Greetings, Brother Omo. Peace, Sister D. I appreciate you very much. So I'm standing, and this is why I have this show, so that we could get an unfiltered drink of black coffee, no sugar, no cream, absolutely no white people involved. Absolutely no white people involved. And raise up a people unto God that's going to stand for black people, that are going to build businesses for black people, that are going to have institutions for black people where no white man is able to infiltrate and integrate our knowledge and the truth that God has given us to deliver black people who are oppressed both nationally, internationally, and globally by this white man who is running a Western global power structure that is financed by America as a leading investor in this type of oppression. Brothers and sisters, I thank you. I appreciate you giving me this time. I appreciate you for giving me this time. And I ask that you will continue. I ask that you will continue to invest in truth, to continue to invest in knowledge, continue to invest in righteousness. Brothers and sisters, please donate to our Cash App. I ask you to buy a book. If you can't buy a book, please donate. But more than anything else, we need those other things more than anything else. Get some people to subscribe. Get some people to like. Get some people to come to observe the show, and maybe they'll hit a dislike button, but it still shows participation. And you can subscribe and dislike and be able to ask me any question you want on the observative shows, and I will answer these questions. I will answer these questions for you because I owe you that as you put your confidence in me. I owe you that. And so, brothers and sisters, very much, I appreciate all donations very much. And I'm going to leave my email down here. I'm going to leave my email down here so you can see it. And I'll be able to answer that. I'm going to check the donations. My phone, I just died. I got to get a new phone. That phone ain't working no more. But that's all right. I've been doing everything from my computer. And I'm going to leave my email down here so I can let each of you know when I receive your donation. I'm going to definitely let you know. So, Sister D, I send that down. You asked the question. So for me to let you know, I can respond that way. Because, again, my phone has died. So I don't have a phone right now. But I'm doing everything from the computer. But with whatever you give, and no matter how small the donation, if you want a book, I want to be able to give you that as a gift for just sending us something to support this ministry. So I want you to know that I don't care what it is. I'm thankful for whatever you give. And there's the email. So when you send something out, let me know what you want. When you go on the site where the books are, just let me know what you want so you can get it back. Thank you, Brother Kenneth. Thanks, Sister D and Brother Omo and all the others that have come on, that constantly come on with us to keep the show going. Brother Jermaine, we appreciate you. Sister, the other sister that was on here, definitely thankful for her as well. Sister Donna Sharif, thankful for you all, and asking that you all will continue to show up, be the regulars on the show, and bring others on the show so they can be able to hear this truth. And we are starting a movement where we can lead black people, where we can give them something, even the ones that we can't reach. We're able to give them the truth, brothers and sisters. And that's the important thing. We're able to give them the truth so they will have knowledge, so they will have culture, so they will have religious righteousness, and that we'll be able to learn from the mistakes that many of our brothers and sisters that have come before us have been in, and mistakes that they made, including Minister Malcolm and other well-known black leaders, such as Minister Louis Farrakhan and the others. That's what it's about. And we welcome them back. The same way the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad welcomed Minister Malcolm back, we welcome these brothers back unto the fold, but we ask them to put out the fires that they started, brothers and sisters. These fires have to be put out so that we can lead our people the right way. And that's all I'm saying. So please do what you can, and we thank you for everything that you will do. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you very much for all that you have done and all that you will do. And I thank you. I ask you to, and I embrace you in the same knowledge that I did in coming on the show. I embrace you before we leave when I said, peace be unto you. Peace be unto all the brothers and sisters here. That's right, Brother Kenneth. That's right. Peace be unto all the brothers and sisters that are here. And I say in the Arabic tongue, Assalamu alaikum. And if you're a Christian, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, I say peace be unto you as it relates to Jehovah, as it relates to Jesus Christ, because we believe that we all serve one God. And that God has sent us those messages, and there's only one message. There's only one message. And we know the ultimate message that Elijah Muhammad sent was message to the black man to do for yourself. To do for yourself. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the teachings of Jesus. We appreciate the teachings of Muhammad. We appreciate the teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh and other leaders, Malachi Z. York, all of those that have come before us. We appreciate it. We are thankful for these teachings. And we ask you to continue to stay on the right road and realize that we're standing together as one people. So I love you, brothers and sisters, and I'll see you again very soon, same time, same place, as we run this 12-day revival, as we run a 12-day revival of black liberation theology and truth that can deliver the black man. I love you, and be at peace. Assalamu alaikum.